All right, all right, all right. It's always nice when I have Jack in the back and our good friend, Mr. Colin Thompson, helping me kick these shows off because when I'm all alone, it takes me a good 5, 6 minutes to figure this stuff out. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Samboner Show. The Samboner Show is always brought to you by Not For Long Media and our good friends of a show. Couldn't be done without the Original Fudge Kitchen and Corpolese Italian Market. Original Fudge Kitchen shipping fudge, vanilla, chocolate, peanut butter. It is now the number one time to get your fudge on. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Hope everybody's looking forward to the 3-day weekend as much as I am. Colin, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Annapolis, Maryland had pretty much like its national holiday yesterday with the Blue Angels in town. So everybody takes off work. The kids have like half days at school. It's like a huge event. So a really cool event. I'm doing great. I took this week, a little lighter week in my training because I knew what was coming. A little hiding out this weekend and some fun maybe Saturday and Sunday. Can't do all 4 days straight like the rest of these young kids anymore.
Does that go on all weekend, dude? I saw some of the videos you were putting up on your Instagram, man. That was some incredible stuff. Does that go all weekend or was that just yesterday?
No, so Tuesday they practice for like 4 hours. And then Wednesday they do it for real. So, but it's just a party all over town. Every bar, every house. There's probably 1,000 boats out in the middle of the harbor because the junction point is really naval academies where they do all the fight flying and all that stuff. So super cool stuff. Thank you to everybody for their service because without you guys, there's no us. And yeah, it was such a cool day, man. It really was. So had a blast, just chilling this weekend. Going to do some brisket, just build a new fire pit in the backyard, just growing up stuff, Mick,
You smoke food?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
You got a smoker?
Yeah.
You a green egg guy, are you, Colin?
I'm a green egg guy. We have a Traeger. We got one for Christmas, wedding gift. That and a Blackstone. They were like the only substantial things we asked for. The rest was honeymoon fund, which I suggest to everyone getting married out there. You don't need more pots and pans and shit.
I'm told there's a fine art to the green egg. It takes some time to get. Yeah.
Yes. You got to learn how to use it. You got to clean it. You got to take care of it the right way. But man, when it goes, it goes. You can do a ton on it. We're going to get into, especially down the Jersey Shore. We're getting into Sea Isle today. I mean, we have ours down in Cape May, and like we make pizzas on the divider. We do burgers. We do everything, and then you can smoke as well. So yeah.
Shout out Hank Sauce. Promo code SAMBONE on all your purchases of the hot sauce of the summer. I can only imagine rubbing some hot sauce from Hank's on your brisket or your pulled chicken, smoking that puppy up for 6-8 hours. Can't be a bad deal. Another thing I'd like to bring up, Samboner Nation, appreciate everybody tuning in here. Hopefully this is going to get you by for the next hour as you're stuck in traffic over the weekend. Not sure what your exit strategy looks like. I know I'm checked out, that's for sure. And it's just a matter of time until, Friday night, Saturday comes around and everybody's securely parked in your Jersey Shore destination or wherever you may go this Memorial Day holiday. Be safe out there. But the hotline, the Samboner hotline, Colin, is always open. Look, we'll eventually get a number for you to call in. But for now, shoot us a message in the DMs, whether it be video, whether it be record, whether it be text. Ask us questions. Put us to the test. Where should we go next? What are the hot spots? Anybody opening up new places that we need to get out there and Sambone? We want to hear it from you. And like I always say, look, we're human. We can't hit them all. So it's always debut season in the Samboner hood. Make a debut, drop a Sambone. Let us know what you got. Let it rip.
Take a look.
Like Colin said, here we go, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is our 4th location episode. Little context, right? We have a little bit of a schedule down here. We're going to kick off the month. Not sure what we're going to be doing here in June. Stay tuned for that. Every month, we'll try to highlight and feature a new guest, whether it's somebody like Mike Gill from ESPN or a special chef like Danny from Angelo's or Tony Luke from Tony Luke's, et cetera, et cetera. And then thirdly, we will have the Call to the Bullpen, where we'll have some friends from Samboner Nation, some people that have been fans of the page since the inception of Samboners. Just come in, chop it up, give us an understanding Oh, it's a blast. It's always fun with the call to the bullpen. And then lastly is the location episode. So we've done Key West. We've done all things Delaware County, Delco pride. If you're white collar, blue collar, I don't care. Just come ring my neck.
for reference there, Mick slipped up and said, love Delco, the best people, the best food, great culture, a bunch of white collar folks. And I'm sure there's some white collar folks that live in Delco, but what it's known for is definitely a little bit more blue collar. That's for sure.
That's what they call the Mickism. Yeah. Look, went to Archbishop Wood, graduated from Penn State, track 3, raised the roof, baby.
Oh man, I tell you, this is the beauty about podcasting. Rip it up, have a good time. If you want a studio show, you can tune in to ESPN.
Yeah, that's right. And last but not least, here we are, our 4th location episode, somewhere that's near and dear to my heart, my family's heart. A lot of just fond memories growing up here as a kid. Sea Isle City, baby, the Jersey Shore, Sea Isle City. Now, granted, I did grow up, and I mentioned this on my Mondays and Mick episode. I did grow up mostly going to Wildwood as a kid. My dad was a huge fan of just picking up a motel, grabbing his 24-pack of Budweiser. The motel always had a pool, and he met up with friends and just, let it rip, have a good time. Digital media was not a thing. Kids were out riding their bikes, skateboarding down the street. We would walk on the Wildwood Boardwalk at 7 or 8 years old without any type of parental guidance. So here we are now in this big world of just everybody's scared of, I don't know. The time.
Keep ripping it up, kids. Put your phones away this summer. Parents, they'll be fine. Let them run around the beach. Oh man, it's a shame.
How about it, man? How about it? But that's the beauty of the Jersey Shore, and we'll get into this location episode in a second here. But that's the beauty of the Jersey Shore. Like, I have a 12-year-old, right? My 12-year-old has more of a desire to go and find a job or work or venture out and just look for something to do at the Jersey Shore than he does at home. If I told him he had to go work 3 or 4 hours at the Acme down the street here in Montgomery County, he'd look at me with 2 heads. But if I told him he was going to go work at Berardi Bros for 2 or 3 hours in Sea Isle, he would hop on his scooter and be there in 10 minutes. I don't know what there is, what's in the air down at the Jersey Shore, but it just inspires you to be a better person. And there's no better place, again, in my heart than, hanging out at the Jersey Shore, hanging out at Sea Isle City, somewhere that I've been going to for, man, as long as I can remember. We go way back, man. A lot of family, a lot of friends, and just a lot of good camaraderie that we get to share every summer in Sea Isle City. And I know, Colin, you're a big Cape May guy, and I'm sure it's the same story over there as well.
Yeah, it's unique. Cape May's, I would say, different because it has it draws a different crowd. There's more variety. I say that in a good way, and not a bad way in a shot at Sea Isle. But when you go to Sea Isle, it's like, to me, it's a reunion. Like, that's where all my high school and college friends go. Like, I walked on the street and like people are yelling your name, like Samboner Mick, or everyone knows Pat, and like it's like a community where everybody knows each other and everyone's from kind of the Northeast and from certain counties. And that's what when I think of Sea Isle, I think of that, and I love that. When I was a kid, growing up, we were up and down the promenade, hitting pizza shops, hanging out, like, just loved it. Great time. My buddy had a place. His mom would rent every summer a 2-bedroom, and he would sleep in the bed, and all 3 of us would sleep in sleeping bags around the bed and go up there and stay out late till 10, p.m. We didn't have phones or any of that. We were like trying to skateboard or just mess around, 8th grade back in the heyday. And then the older I got, obviously we got down to Cape May and started living there more. I would take the Uber up, oh boy, and hit OD and just absolutely tear up the town. This was when I was in college, with all my college buddies and all my buddies from high school. So again, like, that was a meeting place for everyone to go have a great time, rip it up, have a blast, see some great live music, support local businesses there. Some great businesses we're going to shout out today. And then I'd hop on the Uber. That's when Uber just started. It was cheap, like $25. And I would haul ass back to Cape May, hit a Wawa late night, and then walk home. So when I think of Sea Isle, I think of families, I think of friends, I think of camaraderie, I think of, the excitement leading into the fall with the Eagles starts down there, right? Like, real Philly sports fans too. I think it all ties back
Dude,
Like,
don't get me started, man. There's
like
nothing better than watching like the first 3 or 4 weeks of the NFL in September down at the shore. It's the
great,
best.
dude. It's awesome. And honestly, you're seeing it. Like, we lived in Cape May, my wife and I. We lived on the Jersey Shore. My buddy lives in Avalon year round now. Right? There are people living there year round, and I think it's forcing some of the businesses to stay open year round, which is awesome. Or at least until Christmas is over. So no, we're gonna get into these awesome businesses today. I think of Sea Isle, I think of all those things, and it's a special place. It's a fun place. You come over the bridge and it kind of opens up, and you see the promenade in the distance and the courts. I used to play basketball with Ryan Archidiacono and all those guys, and like there's been
There you
some
go.
great
There you
runs on
go.
those courts. So
Great runs. I think the Jersey Shore, there's something to be said about, playing basketball outdoors down in Avalon, Stone Harbor. Every shore point has great hoops outside. You know what's become huge right now is pickleball. Sea Isle just built this gigantic facility. It used to be an amusement park, then it was a municipal parking lot, and now it became this gigantic pickleball community. I think there might be like 20 courts. It's gigantic, dude. That sport has taken over. There's
huge.
court everywhere now.
Everywhere. They did it too, for those from Sea Isle that head down to like the Rio Grande area to go shopping and all. Behind that, like I brought up that West Side Meats. You got to check that out this summer. It's massive, but there's huge. Like they just leveled the tennis courts. There's no more. There's probably a dozen of them. Just leveled them. So yeah, pickleball's massive, man. It's fun. You get a good sweat in. You're not running around like a crazy person like you're playing tennis.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require like tons of athletic ability. Like tennis, like you got to hit some shots now to make it competitive.
Yeah, but you saw that special on ESPN with like Andre Agassi, and I think it was Pete Sampras. Like, it was fun, man. It was entertaining. And after a good hour of those guys battling out, like Andre Agassi said it himself, like, this is saving me, right? I don't have that like endurance and stamina to play tennis anymore, but I still love the ability to just kind of paddle and have fun and use my skills kind of likewise to tennis. And dude, it's just one of those sports where I think there's a lot of haters out there too, honestly. There's people that don't necessarily
never tried it. They've never tried it. Listen, we did it on our honeymoon. I was like, oh, I'm sold on this. It's right.
Same deal, dude.
Yeah,
Same deal. Wife and I played 3 days straight in Puerto Rico when we were there last year, and we just basically sweat out the tank. And by 11 o'clock noon, we were ready to rock and roll again, man.
Well, I'll tell you what about sweating out the tank, and we're going to talk about this on the show. Like you're saying, things to do to be active down in Sea Isle as we kind of get towards that direction now, talking about these businesses. The one thing that we love to do is play golf down the shore. There's nothing better than that Jersey Shore breeze, getting rid of the bugs, maybe a mid-morning round or an early morning round before the kids get up and moving. Where are some of your favorite spots to play, Mick, down the Jersey Shore near Sea Isle?
Yeah, so for the longest time, I was a member at Scotland Run, which is South Jersey, not necessarily Jersey Shore, but they quickly became affiliated with Ballamore Country Club and Atlantic City Country Club, or may have been Ballamore Golf Club. Golf as an industry as a whole kind of took a downward spiral. Pre-pandemic, the golf industry just wasn't doing well. So Atlantic City Country Club became public. Ballamore became public. Shoregate is another great gem. That always was public. And the best part about playing Shoregate, Colin, in my opinion, is it's 5-minute ride outside of Sea Isle. So you don't need to wake up early, especially when you're hungover and you're scrambling, looking for your clubs, looking for your shorts, looking for your shirt. I mean, you literally are at Shoregate in 5 minutes, and it's a great track. But my favorites to play down there are Ballamore Golf Club. I used to love playing Sand Barons. Sand Barons became the Union League. The Union League is practically taking over. There's a couple other dog tracks down there. I won't mention names, but still, at the end of the day, if you can get out and play while you're down at the shore, it's just a nice way to kind of break up the monotony. Get out of that house, get out of your wife, get out of your kids' hair for 4 or 5 hours, chop it up with your buddies. There's nothing like playing down at the Jersey Shore, but again, it is tough. It's tough to wake up on Saturday morning. And
plus, you got to watch. And again, there's some juggling here too. Like it's definitely good to go during the week. You leave on a Saturday and you come back around 2, 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. The people are coming into town for the weekly rentals. That's what I think. The fall is great down there for golf and all that. Nothing to do with traffic, but the fall's tremendous. If you could spend a fall on the Jersey Shore, I did it one year when I was out of the league, 2018. Man, it was a blast. I had an absolute blast. I love playing. I played Union League. Buddy's a member there. Talk about impossible. I mean, that's the hardest track I've ever played in my life. But beautiful. If you get a chance to go, suck it up and go, no matter what you did the night before. And that, I'll say this, I know it's a little bit from Sea Isle. We talk about a Cape May a little bit, but it's up the street a little bit from Cape May. Cape May National is a great public course. If you want to look for something different,
Absolutely.
that's a great, awesome. I love it.
I know all you Samboners out there are dying for a Samboner Invitational or Samboner Open. It'll come. It'll come. I've actually looked into it. It's tough, man. You got to really schedule these things out almost a year in advance. But, keep firing, keep sending us ideas. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're having a ton of fun here at the Samboner Show. Like I always say, it's an unbelievable time to be a Samboner, and I'm looking forward to an awesome, awesome summer. So without further ado, let's dive into all things Sea Isle City. If you're driving down the Atlantic City Expressway and you have no clue where to eat, where to party, where to wine, where to dine, where to have fun, well, you found it. It's the Samboner Show, and we're gonna highlight Sea Isle City today. So, being that we are Samboners, Colin, and our primary focus can tend to be around sandwiches and cheesesteaks. Now with the summer coming around, I think we'll be tanking a few more beers and maybe a little, glasses of whiskey from time to time. But we'll kick things off with the sandwich and cheesesteak and a little bit of hot dog category. But if you think Sea Isle City, if you think Jersey Shore, and you think, if you've been going to the Jersey Shore for the last 25, 30 years, the first market that pops out in my mind is Blitz's Market. Blitz's Market has been around forever. I believe they initially came onto the scene in Ocean City, New Jersey. We could do a show in Ocean City, New Jersey too. That's either here or there. But just recently, Blitz's Market in Sea Isle City has revived their location. I think back in 2016, they do this whole upper end Towson's Inlet area has really come on strong as of late. And there's a ton of new spots, including Hank Sauce and such. And I'll get into these spots. But, Blitz's Market's just a great little spot, upper end of town, serving all kinds of sandwiches, groceries, full coffee bar with cold brew. I recently just read they claim to have the best breakfast sandwich on the island. So we may have a little bit of a competition there with Mrs. Brizzles, who I think has the best breakfast sandwich on the island. But hey, if they claim they have the best breakfast sandwich, I'm willing to go out there and drop a Sambone, and we'll see where that ranks up. But Blitz's Market, near and dear to a lot of people's heart, and love what they're doing there in Sea Isle City. Right down the street, Colin, is Hank Sauce. Shout out Hank Sauce. Big affiliate, Samboners, promo code SAMBONE if you're going to buy some hot sauce online. But dude, this is just an unbelievable story, man. Couple guys just shooting the shit out back, playing in their dad's garden, growing vegetables, making hot sauces, putting the American dream at work, right? Just kind of brainstorming amongst three or four good buddies, having some fun. I'm sure drinking a couple beers out back, started making hot sauces. And long story, quickly, fast forward 10 years, Hank Sauce has a storefront. They are slinging some of the best sandwiches, some of the best wings. Their buffalo chicken dip is absolutely to die for. You can buy their hot sauce in every single supermarket up and down the East Coast. I don't even know how far they range. I mean, I see it here in Bucks County, Montgomery County.
In Florida. I've seen them in Florida. I mean, you see it in an Ace Hardware or True Value. If you go to the
everywhere, and you know what I love about it too? It's honestly, and I'm not being biased, it's delicious. It's awesome on all types of food. They have 7 or 8 different flavors, and they don't gouge you, dude. It's $6. It's $6 for the bottle. There's a lot of sauces out there. Are dude, why am I $30? I just go with Hank's for $6. You can't beat it.
You're right.
Yeah,
and the glass bottle. It's durable. It's easy to pour, and honestly, my wife, who's not a hot sauce person, she's this Texas flavor, wheat flavor. She loves it. And that's the meter for me. I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, I said,
my son is obsessed with it. I mean, he drinks this shit, man. Honestly, he pours it on everything.
It's really good. Period. And I'll say this, guys, you're a fan of the Samboner Show. You're a fan of Hank's. Make sure you go online, support our show, support them, and punch that promo code in. Sambone, because it supports both the businesses, and we appreciate them because they believe in us. So thank you to them, and it's a freaking first class product. You're right, man. Really cool.
Yeah. So next on this scene, another spot that's near and dear to me is the Berardi Bros. They came into Sea Isle You know what? I don't know how long it's been. I want to say 5, 6 years. They moved locations. They're now right in the heart of town. Like you said, Colin, if you're coming into this city, you make a right on the Landis. They're right there on the left side. Mike and Nick just continue to amaze me as just a fan of, good cheesesteaks, good pizza, good chicken cutlets. They recently opened up a location in my hometown, Southampton, Bucks County. So I think Mike's work in Southampton, Nick's work in Sea Isle, or vice versa. But dude, at the end of the day, like, I'm no pizza connoisseur, but in my humble opinion, and we'll get into the top 10 pizza list here in a second, but I think they have the best pizza on the island. And I also think they have the best cheesesteaks on the island. As a matter of fact, I think they have the best cheesesteaks in all South Jersey. They just put so much TLC into their cheesesteaks. They are bringing in Sarcone's Bakery and, whipping those cheesesteaks up with the Cooper Sharp cheese. Shout out Cooper Sharp, another big fan of the Samboner show. And it's just rare. I don't think there's a lot of places in the Jersey Shore that are really crafting the ultimate cheesesteak from Philadelphia.
I would love like they do.
No. They don't. They don't. So, I mean, it's not easy either, right? I mean, if you're going to take a lot of takeout orders, like, consistency is tough down the shore. I think if you go in, dine in, you're probably going to get a better product. But at the end of the day, dude, there's nobody in the Jersey Shore, or at least in Sea Isle, that's doing it just as good as Hank's Sauce. I'm sorry, not Hank's Sauce, Berardi Brothers.
Them too.
Yeah, I'm having that kind of day. So we'll just go down the line here. Primos, dude. So this is an interesting one. For the longest time, Sea Isle City did not allow like a chain restaurant to come into the island. And I always thought that was goofy, because for the longest time, I wanted to sell Philly soft pretzels up and down the beach. Like the Philadelphia Daily News here, or just do the Philadelphia soft pretzels. But, Primos.
You should have started Mick's soft pretzels. You should have did it. Mickey's.
I should have did it. There is a Philly soft pretzel in Sea Isle as well. I don't think I have them on the list here, but Primos is just one of those places. It's a kind of a scale above the next. Very, very consistent, always slinging the Lisios rolls, fresh meats, and it's right in the heart of town. It's just one of the best places just to go grab 3 or 4 hoagies, bring them onto the beach. Their Italian is consistent. They do the bada bing, the boom boom special, all these different cutlet sandwiches that they have. You honestly can't go wrong with a Primos. It really is the taste of Philly at the Jersey Shore.
Love it, dude. I love Primos, dude. The Italian hoagie there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And again, the consistency of Primos. You know what you're getting every single time. For me, I love them. Again, you want to support a local mom and pop, but to me, Primos is Philly. It's Northeast. It's Primo that screams. So I mean, listen, you got a couple days left here, Samboners. You're get down there. It's hoagie month. Go Sambona freaking. I don't want to hear it. Oh, I want to be featured. All this stuff. Go freaking do it. We need people. We need the Samboners. So jump on, man. Primo's a great spot to hit up.
But you bring up a good point, Colin. Like when it comes to locals, right? Like I tend to support the local business over.
100%.
But look, it's busy down there, man. So like I'm okay with the Primos all day long.
Primos is local to me in a sense.
But the best Italian hoagie. Hoagie? Did I just say hoagie?
Hoagie.
My accent changing? Holy shit. But the best Italian hoagie at the Jersey Shore, or I'm sorry, Sea Isle City, in my opinion, is Giovanni's Deli, Giovanni's Italian Market. John and Mary Beth Libro have been holding down this fort for as long as I can remember. Huge fans of the Samboners, big supporters of the Samboner show. Can't thank John and Mary Beth enough for all their support. But the specialty sandwiches that they're slinging in there, the hoagies, and then you can also go in there and get like pre-made food for dinner, pastas, sauces. They have all full line of drinks, chips. It's just a cool little old school deli that you walk in right off Landis Avenue, right across the street from St. Joseph's Church. And again, the best sandwiches across the entire island at Giovanni's. And then the other local that I love is McGowan's. McGowan's is right across from the Dead Dog. McGowan's, I think their specialty is the turkey gobbler. My wife always gets the turkey gobbler, but they have a full line of great sandwiches too. I think you're better off probably going to McGowan's and getting like a nice chicken cheesesteak or a cheesesteak. They have good hot sandwiches. Another just small market vibe where you can really just get everything you need before you head over to the beach for the day, outside of alcohol.
Well, you're going to need some of that. That's for sure. Now,
Yeah.
Mick, you want to touch on
Yeah.
Uncle Oogie's, which we've talked to too, and they have a relationship with the Palladium as well?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so these guys have, first off, when I found out they run the Palladium and their owners are the Palladium in South Jersey, which was one of my favorite little places to hide out and just hang out. Chickies is great across the street. A real like South Philly bar scene, Palladium, they bought it, pimped it out. But Uncle Oogie's, 22nd season, brand new facility located in the shopping center of Acme there on 61st Street. Mick, do you ever get down there?
Yeah, I can throw a lob wedge on the Acme, Colin.
Now, are you going to shank it?
Likely, I will shank it. I'll shank it right over to Kick's Bar, which is not a bad thing. So
the thing about Uncle Oogie's, though, they deliver to the beach, which I think is awesome. They're just packed on the weekend, right? So an up and comer in the area with some awesome food.
Yeah, no, it's a legendary space in Sea Isle for sure. Uncle Oogie's has been doing it right for years and years. Just call ahead, man, because it's going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours, especially on these hot summer weekends. And then just kind of round off the list, man, because there's a ton of good places. Sea Isle is great. Panzini's is a great spot. The Stakeout is a decent spot. I've never had the Stakeout. They claim to have really good cheesesteaks. Mrs. Brizzle's, who I brought up earlier, I think Mrs. Brizzle's has the best breakfast sandwich on the island. You always got the Wawa, shout out Wawa. I mean, that's kind of, the local staple. And it's an old school Wawa, too, because there's not enough room for a new Wawa in Sea Isle. Azora's is a good spot. D'Annunzio's on the promenade is a good spot. Great spot to take your family, get some pizza. They'll hook you up with some dough to occupy the kids. Good food, good vibes. Steve's Grilled Cheese is right there on JFK Boulevard. And then you got the hot dog wars, man. I'm not going to get into the hot dog wars, but the two Glizzy staples in Sea Isle go to Lou's Dogs and Bubba's Dogs. We go to Bubba's Dogs more because it's closer to our beach block, but both spots do it well. There's nothing like grabbing a nice little glizzy while you're down the shore. And there's all kinds of specialty like style hot dogs that they put on. And I know Bubba's does like some other specialty sandwiches too, like pulled chicken, pulled pork, and so forth. And it's freaking awesome, man. Like you have to be a vet to hold stake in some of these hot dog stands. That's like a rule of thumb in Sea Isle, but like they're just posted up right outside of the blocks, right? It's just like a couple tents. Lou's actually has a storefront, but Bubba's is like more just tent set up every day. A couple college kids slinging glizzies and just, listening to music and having a good time.
You love that kind of action. That's Sea Isle City for you, though. That's what when you think of Sea Isle. I can't wait till the summer, man. I'm mixing up the flags flying off the porch, paddings. It's gonna be fun, man. And the best part about
shout out Deck 58.
Woo!
Yeah.
We got to get Pads back on the show. We're going to try to get him live this summer when we're down there. Mick and I'll be down around the same time. We get the old Pads on the show. The guy's a legend. Killed in Nebraska. Really excited to watch what they do this fall. So, Mick, I mentioned the OD. I mentioned kind of the bar scene down there. I'm a frequent at that back in my day in college, hanging with the boys, hanging just with all my friends from high school and college, chopping it up, bringing friends from out of town up there from Cape May to really show them a good time too. So what do you got, man? There's some freaking good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a long list of bars here, and they're all awesome, honestly, and they all have a unique story behind every single one. And one of the cooler stories actually that just kind of popped up in the last couple of years is the Sea Isle Iced Teas, and just the collaboration with the guys at the Island Podcast and Sea Isle Iced Tea. Shout out Joe Romano, Jeannie Romano. And this Sea Isle Iced Tea phenomenon is just an unbelievable story, a cool little local story between a couple guys to just we're the misfits of Sea Isle Wildwood collaborating with Sea Isle Ice. Joe Romano. Sea Isle Ice is like almost like a national brand. You see it everywhere. These guys came together and they're brewing up all these different types of iced teas, mango, raspberry, vodka, malt liquor. They just continue to kind of elevate their game, and you can find the Sea Isle iced teas in practically every single one of these bars, not just in Sea Isle too. It's everywhere, dude. They're all up and down the tri-state, and they're starting to leak down south. So big shout out, big kudos to Sea Isle iced tea. Keep doing your thing. So let's kick this thing off. Again, another big fan of the show, big supporter of the show. Can't thank you enough for all the love and support. The Ludlam Bar and Grill. Dude, the Ludlam Bar and Grill is a brand new spot. Used to be the former La Costa, like right
RIP.
there on JFK, dude. And, you know, the cool thing about a lot of these bars, you know, so we'll just kind of dive in with the Ludlam Bar. Like there's so many different vibes across the bar in terms of, like literally across the bar, in terms of like what your vibe is when you go to a place. Do you want to go on a patio? Do you want to be away from the noise? Do you want to go inside and talk to your local bartender who's, you know, he probably is your, you know, high school professor or your college professor? Like there's just something to be said about the shore and, you know, kind of the poison that you want to pick when you go into these bars, because they all have these different outlets. But the Ludlam is a game changer, man. There's the Ludlam Bar and Grill. There's the Ludlam Hotel. There's the Ludlam Cafe if you want to go get a nice sandwich, breakfast sandwich, a cup of coffee. But the bar itself, you walk in, there's this patio section, full round bar. Dude, it's huge. It's probably got like 50, 60 bar stools. And then over to the right, there are these tents, and there's probably like 15, 20 tables. They're serving great food. The menu at the Ludlam now, it's game changer. Like I had like believe it or not, I had like a fresh salad from the Ludlam last summer. I'm like, this is like the best salad I've ever had on the island. I might get shot for that being a Samboner, but like, it's just nice and refreshing when you go into the Jersey Shore, because the food scene is it's a challenge. I don't know if it's the salt air or what, but the Ludlam seems to be doing a really, really good job. And then you can go to the back, you can get these like different types of daiquiri drinks. There's another bar back there, live music. Then you walk inside, Colin, and it's just this gigantic bar. Go visit my buddy Walt. He's holding it down there at the Ludlam. Maybe drop my name or don't. He might hook you up. I don't know. But there's a full bar. There's a full stage there with live music every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Another bar in the back. Usually my cousin Christian might be holding that bar down. Dude, the Ludlam Bar and Grill is a great, great spot. I'm sure I'll see a lot of you Samboners there this summer. An affiliation with the Ludlam Bar is the Beachwood at the Dunes on 86th Street. Just another awesome restaurant, bar, open air, lounge, more upscale, I think, if you will. I've only been there once, but I remember being a very just relaxed environment. You can go there post beach. You can do the whole no shower happy hour thing. Just a casual get together place for your family or a date night. Just a great dining experience. Again, it's right up there by Blitz's Market, Hank's Sauce, etc., etc. Moving right along, man. This is going to be long-winded because, again, all these bars are near and dear to me. The Oar House Pub and Alley Bar, formerly the Lobster Loft. Dude, I've been going to the Lobster Loft for as long as I can remember. My aunt and uncle-in-law live right across the lagoon from the Oar House Pub and Alley Bar. We have a zip line set up, so we don't have to walk around. We just zip line from the third deck right into the Oar House. I'm kidding, Colin.
You need that, though. That's what you need to set up.
It would be unbelievable if we had the zip line going. But, like, look, the Oar House has quickly turned into kind of that nightclub vibe. Like, it's just, hard rock, live music. Let's get fired up. If you want to go party, you go to the Oar House and let it rip. Friday nights, they bring on Fat Mez, which is just awesome cover band playing all kinds of classic tunes. Saturday night, you get the legendary Mike LeCompte. You ever see Mike LeCompte play, Colin?
I have not.
Dude, you would absolutely love Mike LeCompte. This guy, he is, he's, oh my God, man. When you think live music at the Jersey Shore, honestly, the first name that comes to my mind is Michael LeCompte. He rocks the house every night. He puts on one of the best musical acts. And again, every Saturday night at the Oar House, if you've never seen Michael LeCompte let it rip, do yourself a favor, get to the Oar House and have yourself a good time.
Take a look and take a bite. And you mentioned that too about the food in some of these bars, just down the Jersey Shore, anywhere. Like they all need a good salad. They all need a good burger. They all need some healthy options on there, because you can't just rip it up all the time. You're Samboner, trying to be lean and mean. Unless you get a Samboner tattoo on your stomach, then you have a full blessing to eat and rip it up much as you want. I can't wait, man. The salt, the sea, something about being down there too. The salt air. Go for a walk. You kind of move out the night.
I was just trying to think of the other band They don't come around as much. I think they're getting a little older. But shout out to the Giuliano brothers.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah,
Cape May. I've seen them in Carney's and Cape May a bunch.
Yeah, they used to play the old.
I saw them in Key West this year. They played the Green Parrot.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, they get around because they play in the Northeast and they go down south during the winter.
Yeah,
I
Jody
think one of
from
the brothers have had some health issues, but dude, so many fond memories of just rocking it out with the Giuliano brothers, honestly.
Yeah, Jody from the Green Parrot down there, legendary spot. Heard about on our Key West episode. She got into town years ago, kind of through the Pat Croce era when he bought a bunch of bars down there, and he still owns the Green Parrot. Pat does, but Jody's connected with the Giuliano Brothers, so she tries to pump the Philly bands down there. I think she's from Delco. She's the best. But yeah, so yeah, it was really cool.
White collar.
Yeah, man. Pat and his wife Diane were there when the Giuliano Brothers played, so it was kind of like a little Jersey Shore reunion. My parents, so it was cool. We did that this past year. They're great people, but I digress. Yeah, the great band, dude. They're always down in Cape May ripping it up too. I've seen them in the Boiler Room. I've seen them in Carney's. Seen them in Seattle. Can't beat it, dude.
Yes, they played at the Springfield in Seattle. So the next bar on the list. This one goes hand in hand with the restaurant and the bar. So I'll touch on both of them, and we will get to a list of restaurants here if we have some time. But Henris Bar and Bracas Cafe. So big shout out to Henris and Bracas, big supporter of the show. Jen McKeever and I have become really good friends over the years. She does an exceptional job. So Bracas Cafe just recently renovated the entire restaurant, and it took them a little while, but I watched it, month over month as they continue to progress and put this restaurant together. And it just turned out, dude, it's amazing, man. Like these slate floors, beautiful brand new bar, wine cellar, just a really nice little vibe at the Jersey Shore. Not so much your no shower happy hour type of place, but get a reservation and go get yourself a nice meal at Bracas. And then, after you're done dinner, step right outside and go right into the patio, and you got Henris Bar, 2 and 2, hand in hand. Pick up yourself a nice 302. There is nothing that reeks more of the Jersey Shore, more of Sea Isle City than a nice little fresh 302 drink. It's the perfect cocktail to kick off your weekend festivities. A Sea Isle tradition like any other. I believe on the promenade, there's like places at certain boutiques that actually sell clothing all around the 302 at Henris. So it just goes to show you how big of an iconic drink that is. And, Bracas just continues to accelerate and do great things for the community right there in the heart of Sea Isle. And Henris is just an awesome spot to grab lunch and, bring the kids even and just, wind down, have a good time.
Love it, man. Yeah, they've been supporting our show, and I can't wait to check them out.
Yeah, and then the list goes on, man. Like I can't just continue to just like elaborate on all these places, but they all are very unique and different, and they create their own separate vibes, and they continue to just do good things in the community. Like Shenanigans has been around for years, great fun nightlife. Like I think they're known for having like the best DJs and like out of Philly or out of South Philly. That place is always bumping, Colin. You got and it's all right there, dude. It's just, you've been to Seattle. It's all just one big happy, stretch of just craziness.
Dude, Dead Dog,
craziness.
I've done Dead Dog. At that Dead Dog's place, you throw the napkins right at night and they play Coldplay. I think that's it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, dude, I think
the
Dead Dog, I personally think the Dead Dog is one of the best bars on the island. I really do.
Yeah, Dead Dog's the one where you walk in, it's got the square bar right in front of you, and there's a second floor.
Exactly.
Okay, that's the bar. You haven't been there late night. You probably haven't closed it in a long time. But they play Coldplay, and then you take your napkins and throw them up in the air. It's a whole thing. This is at like 2:30 in the morning. And also, you can't wear branded shirts in there. So I would have to buy the $10 polo to go in there. If I
think they did away with that. We still have a polo. We have a polo hanging up in the closet out of just respect for that. But I think they did get away with that. But like, if you're looking to just kind of get out of the sun and go watch a Phil's game and get a nice ice cold beer, like this is definitely a potential bar of the week candidate.
Iced tea.
But Sea Isle iced tea, a whole cold Guinness, watch the Phils, catch the sound of the game. Like a couple years ago, the World Cup was going on, dude. A couple friends and I, we were down there watching the World Cup. Like, dude, it was bananas, absolute bananas. That is the place to go watch a sporting event and get out of the sun and just hang out in the AC. The list goes on, dude. The Point, formerly the Carousel in the Springfield. We were just talking about the Springfield with the Giuliano brothers. The carousel, I'm sorry, the point is now kind of that open air vibe, right? Not much overhead. It's just tents and canopies, all beach, 3 or 4 bars in there, DJs, bands, right there on 43rd and the beach. I mean, you can't beat it, dude. Great vibes, good music. You got the Ocean Drive. Look, nothing screams more about the Ocean Drive than the no shower happy hour. I mean, honestly, that's the end of the story right there.
Is it still
From
cash
4 to
only?
6, from 4 to 6, that place is fucking jumping. Now, granted, it's jumping again from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock at night, but from 4 to 6, that place is jumping. Keep an eye out too. And when the day happens, it's almost impossible to get in there. But Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey will do like a celebrity bartending experience there every single summer. It's almost impossible to get in, but they put on an absolute show.
That guy's been on a ripper, man. Every time I see him, he's got a beer in his hand. I hope he's gonna be ready to play this season.
Those guys are having fun, man. Maybe that day, Colin, you'll have to come down. We can squeeze our way in there and chop it up with the Kelsey brothers.
Oh boy. Yeah, like, hey, and I got to meet Jason at the NFL Media Workshop. Just the best guy. Loves the Jersey Shore. I mean, loved it for the same reasons everyone else loves it. But has a house there, enjoys the camaraderie of the place. It's a normal cat. I know a lot of people listen to the show have interacted with him before, but it's odd that someone that successful and that well known is so normal. A lot of guys are reserved because of the reasons that I get it. I get why guys are, because you can get hounded. That guy's open, out in the public, wears what he wants. He's just OOU, kind of one of us type of guy. And you see it out of guys like me at the lower level of the NFL, but the upper level guys, and he's a Hall of Famer. Like, it's hard to be a normal human because everywhere you go, you get plucked and prodded and asked for autograph. That guy, unfazed and just an absolute stud. And I know he's just a mainstay down there because, people talk about him all up and down. I mean, he's the talk of every shore point. He's a legend. He may be the most electric. I mean, he's on the Hall of Fame, the Mount Rushmore, right, of like Philly sports athletes at some point, right? Like, he's making his case to be, in my opinion, at least beloved Philly sports athletes. And then he's had a great career too. I digress. O'Donnell's
last couple on the list, man. Wrap up the bar scene because it can get a little long-winded. But the last 2 on the list are the O'Donnell's Poorhouse. So basically, O'Donnell's is the only
Guinness.
There you go. The only Irish pub on the island. So essentially, that is the bar where you go to get the perfect pint of Guinness. They recently just built this gigantic outdoor like turf patio with a stage, live music. It's just one big fucking festival down there, honestly. I mean, it really is. Like, you could like catch these shit. You can walk out the Dead Dog and wait for an Uber and like listen to some live music from O'Donnell's Poorhouse and their patio. And then lastly is Kicks, right? So Kicks is near to me because I'm right there. And, that's just another unique place. But again, like I mentioned, like all of these bars have their unique shape and feel. Kicks has 9 bars within the one facility. So, pick your poison, right? You want to go in, listen to some loud music. You want to sit off to the patio. You want to go back by the pool bar. And then just recently they put in this little like Pentagon bar kind of away from all the commotion. And they'll throw some live music out there at times. You can get some cornhole bags going, maybe sneak into the Sea Island pool if you're lucky, if you're strategic enough. But no, it's just a cool little spot with some fresh flatties, great spot to watch a game, come off the beach, have a cocktail, and just let loose. So that's the bar scene, man. Woo! Let's go!
Commodore Club and VFW.
Right? Oh, yeah. I have that on the list. Well, that's just, you got to be members.
Well, whatever. There's still good bars.
If you're looking for some ice cold beer at $2 a pop, join the Commodore Club and join the VFW. You'll save a ton of money, have a great time, and you'll just, hang out with all the local vets and just let the good times roll, man. There's nothing better than the Commodore Club and the VFW. All
right. So to give you a breather here, you want me to run through the great Sean Patton's pizza? Or is this
go ahead. Yeah. Just go ahead. Just do the list.
And then you can commentate.
We'll save number 10. You can announce number 10, but we'll save the story for another day, I guess, because we don't know the story.
All right. So the great Sean Patton, for those that don't know who are listening, he has a house in Sea Isle. We worked together. I played at Temple. He was director of football operations. Carolina, operations and more. for the Carolina Panthers. We were together. Now he's at Nebraska with Coach Rule. So Coach Rule and him are tied at the hip. And Mick and him became friends. It's really how I found Samboners, was through Patton. So we have a mutual friend. He's been on the show before. He was on the first episode. We were congratulating Mick on the Samboner show. So he's a legend. Okay, he's a legend. Pure Samboner, definition of it. Here's his list of the top 11 pizza places in Sea Isle. So you got Casino at 11. 10, you have the abandoned flip-flop. Story to come later. 9, you have Zio Piccolo. 8, you have Azura. 7, the Nunzios. 6, Uncle Oogie's, friend of the show, on the list. 5, Panzini's. 4, the GOAT, Berardi Brothers. 3, Spinners. 2, Bill's Famous. And number 1, Basilicos. What are your thoughts, Samboner Mick?
I gotta love it. I really do. Like, you gotta show respect for that list, because the top 3, Colin, the top 3 are legendary. Like, honestly, like, they go back as far, probably they're older than me, right? They probably are 40 plus years in the books. Basilicos, is just a classic family restaurant. And dude, I have I have a funny story. I walked into Basilicos one time thinking it was Henris. I walked in, I'm like, "Is Meg here? Is Meg Mees here? I'm looking for Meg Mees. She's working the bar." And the lady at the front's like, "Sir, we don't have a bar." I'm like, "Oh shit. Yeah, I got the wrong place."
Take a look, take a bite, and have a goal.
One of those nights. But no, Basilicos, Phil's Famous, and Spinners, legendary Sea Isle pizza shops. Are they better than Berardi Brothers? I don't even know, man. I'm not the pizza connoisseur, but we'll find out this summer. We can shake it up this summer. Lots of wild card action. No rules here at the Samboners.
We're gonna have a Sea Isle day.
Some pizza, Sambone it.
We have to have a Sea Isle day. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mick. I'm gonna come up. Just gonna rip it up. Eat, drink, be merry, and then I'm gonna Uber home. Can't beat it.
There you go, baby. Deck 58.
I'll tell you what. I gotta stay away from that place. Listen, man, there's nothing better down the Jersey Shore than waking up and hitting a great breakfast spot. I love breakfast, especially down there. And there's some great spots in Sea Isle. Mick, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, the freshest spot, the newest on the scene is the Shorebreak Cafe, which is affiliated with the Ludlam Hotel, Ludlam Bar and Grill. So brand new addition to the Ludlam Bar and Grill. They're serving all types of different coffees, pastries, danishes, wedding cakes, fresh biscuits, breakfast sandwiches, all made fresh daily. And there's nothing like a brand new facility, a brand new kitchen. So I have not been there, but a couple people have said, dude, Shorebreak Cafe is perfect little spot. And it's just nice that, newer joints are coming onto the scene, and we can try them out. So a staple, a Sea Isle staple, Matt Cutler, Archbishop Wood grad, Matt Cutler, him and his family have been holding down Mary Ann's for the longest time. And there's always been a debate amongst you donut lovers out there. And I am a donut lover, Colin, but I'm always trying to work on this beach spot here, and I can't be eating the cream-filled donuts on Saturdays and Sunday mornings just to soak up a hangover. I just got to stuff wind and sweat it out. But my aunt and uncle and my wife and the kids, they die for Mary Ann's. There's nothing more traditional than having a box of Mary Ann's on a Saturday and Sunday morning down the shore. And the big debate that I like to bring up a lot is who makes the best cream-filled donut at the Jersey Shore. In my opinion, number 1 and number 2 is Mary Ann's and Kohler's in Avalon. If you know any better out there, shoot us a message, break our stones on the hotline, or the make-believe hotline that we talk about.
I got nothing for you in Cape May on that one, no. And you're right. I think the one thing I can try to sacrifice is the donut game. I love donuts, don't get me wrong, just as much as the next person, but give me an omelet, maybe some fruit to get the day going if it was a rough one. Yeah. So love donuts.
So another couple other cool breakfast staples. I brought Mrs. Brizzle, best breakfast sandwich. They do great lunch too, and great sandwiches across the board. Dockside Mike's is just a legendary, iconic, classic diner that it's been around for at least, I don't know, probably 50 years. I'm probably going to get my ball's broken in for this, but it's been around for a long time. Always a long wait. Rick's right there in the same Acme shopping center as what's the place we brought up? Oh, Berardi, I'm sorry, Uncle Oogie's.
Yep.
Rick's is another classic diner right there. They got a side window now. You can get the Mary Ann's donuts. The Sunset Pier is just a great spot overall for all three meals because you get the sunrise, you get a nice lunch right on the dock, and then you get the dinner with the sunset, and the kids can go out on the deck and hang out, toss the ring around. It's just a great atmosphere overall. And then last but not least, you have some chains like Fractured Prune, and then not Red, White, and Brew. Red, White, and Brew is not a chain, but just a cool little coffee shop right in the heart of town. I would check them out as well. All right, as we wrap up here, Colin, this might get a little redundant, but I'm just going to rip through some of these restaurants here. I talked about Bracas. I talked about Henris and Bracas. Great spot there. La Finestra, right across the street from Bracas. The restaurant, I think, with the only view of the beach, BYOB. Tough to get a reservation there. Anthony's is kind of newer on the scene, right in the heart of town. They have a two-deck atmosphere, restaurant at the bottom, a bar and grill up in the top. Great food, great vibes. Anthony's is a good spot. Sunset Pier, I just talked about. You got Marie's Seafood and Mike's Seafood. I mean, it doesn't get any more iconic than Marie's and Mike's. These guys just absolutely kill it. They don't need us to help them because at the end of the day, every single night of the summer, there's a line wrapped around the corner right there in Fish Alley to get into Mike's Seafood. And, honest to God, in my humble opinion, guys, Samboners, like if there's a line at Mike's, just go to Marie's. It's the same deal, honestly. It's fresh seafood. It's great atmosphere, great people over at Marie's, and both are near and dear to me. We're right there on 43rd Street where we were, and we support those guys very, very frequently. Right down the street is Carmen's. So Carmen's Crabs, Carmen's Seafood. It's right on the first lagoon there as you're pulling in the sea aisle. Great spot for breakfast, great spot for lunch. Just a cool place to take your family. They actually cater well to kids the most. So if your kids are looking to, make their Samboner debut, I highly suggest you take them to Carmen's and have them get their Samboner on. Sorry,
you're doing great, bro. You're killing it.
Yeah. La Fontana is another great spot. Amoda Mia is another great spot. Fratelli's, all those three places are right in the middle of town. Like I want to say like 51st, 52nd, and Landis. Dude, these three places, I think they've come onto the scene more recently, maybe in the last like 10 years. Just great fine dining. It's cool, man. Like the Sea Isle scene like has continued to elevate and has continued to come on strong. Because I don't know, I could be dead wrong. I just feel like the salt air is a struggle and it's tough to produce a good product down at the Jersey Shore. I don't know if that holds true or what, but
I think it's more of finding help, finding work, finding consistency, in an employment personally, because you just don't have the vast amount of people like you'd have in a Bucks in Montgomery County, in a Philly year round. You're going to have people that want to come down the shore, hang out, to enjoy the shore and work a little bit, maybe bartend here and there, but you're talking like year round, like cooks and chefs. And like, I think that's, to me, what makes it challenging. And that's why the shore will get better. The food at the shore has gotten better because now more than ever, it's become more of a year round place. I know Cape May is, I know, right. Seattle, you get more people that live down there. It's forcing places to stay open, which helps small business, which helps those people that work in those small businesses rent a place there instead of short-term rent, which is, more expensive. So I think there's a little bit of that. I see that with just the businesses down the shore. So lots to do, for an outsider perspective who's not there a ton. I don't think our list was going to be this long, but I'm sure with the places we left off. So,
and look, it's no Wildwood, it's no Ocean City. Like we don't have. They did back in the day. It was more of like a carnival. If you remember that far back, Sea Isle had a carnival based type of boardwalk. They got rid of that. They tried to bring it back. Now it's pickleball. This is more just kind of a quaint, just everyday Jersey Shore vibe where, look, there's not much to do, but the best times are usually on your back deck. And I'll get to that in a second, but like things to do, walk the promenade, hit up all the arcades, go play around a mini golf at Pirates Island on 34th Street, hit the shops up right by the Spinnaker. There's places to eat. There's places to buy just like memorabilia from your times at Sea Isle. You got the Harbor Outfitters who will help you if you want to do some excursions with supboarding and canoeing, etc. You got the Isle bicycles right there. You can rent those. Oh shit, I'm drawing a blank. What are those things? Oh, the ferries.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. My kids always want to do that. I'm like, that looks painful. Honestly, you're like pedaling and you're going nowhere.
It's the worst. I feel so bad for families. I told my wife, I said, when we have kids, we will never, ever put our kids on one of those ever. My parents did it. My dad's like, don't ever do it. It's horrendous.
And then lastly, you have the Excursion Park, which is like a cool little park right in the center of town. And they'll put on, like live shows every Saturday night. They'll do like cover Beatles bands, cover Rolling Stones bands. Sometimes they'll just play a movie for the kids. They've kind of cracked down a little bit on parents, sneaking some drinks in your coolers, which I think is a little kind of weird, but I don't know. Drink responsibly, have fun, use Uber, ride the jitney. And, that's pretty much it, man. Like, it's just a cool vibe. It's a great town just to build, the right camaraderie with the right people, let loose, have fun, feel like you're in like the 80s again.
What do you got, Jack? Sliding in the back door here. What do you got, pal?
So I'm briefly, you're talking about ferries. You're talking about like the tandem bike things, right? Where it's like two people. So I have ferries,
they're called
tandem bikes. I thought is what they were called, but
it's like four seats. Everybody pedals.
Yeah. So I have a great story about this. So this is probably about 4 years ago. We got one. It was my sister, my brother-in-law, my other sister, like my mom and me, and we were biking, and all of our stuff was in like my sister's purse in the back seat. And we had to make somewhere quick. We got in the morning to go up and down the boardwalk. I know you're talking Seattle, this was Ocean City. So we had to like book it up the boardwalk. And my brother-in-law swerving back and forth. And the purse had fallen out. Right. It was actually right in front of the original Fudge Kitchen, funnily enough. And it had fallen out. It had all of our cards, everything.
Careful what you say here, Jack.
Oh, I'm fine. It's a hilarious
story. That's our sponsor, though. We don't want to, no liability.
Oh, it's nothing bad about the Fudge Kitchen. So the purse had fallen out with all the cards and everything. And I had underestimated how quick this bike was going. I thought it was like going 2-3 miles an hour. So I'm on the right side. I jump out trying to like Spider-Man land it in my flip-flops. And I just completely eat shit. And I just fall and I roll, and everybody at the boardwalk's looking at me. And I'm like, I'm like, the bag. Because I didn't want to lose all our phones and everything. They're like 15 yards behind us at this point. And I just thought that would be I hate tandem bike. I haven't really gotten on one since. And my family always seems to bring it up anytime we hit the shore. So
Jack in the back. The old tandem bikes. Yeah, they're dangerous. Drink responsibly, folks. And if you're not drinking,
man. Like just tons, dude. Colin, there's this. I have so many memories, and I'll kind of leave. Like, there's something to be said. Like, we could do a million things. We go play golf. We go ride bikes on the promenade. We go lay on the beach for 10 hours. But like, one of my my finest memories, and it's not even like a big memory. It's just like, meeting my wife and going down the shore, and I was lucky enough to marry into her family who had a place. Shout out to, my Aunt Susan Gress and my uncle John Costella, his brother Bob Costella, and all his cronies. And, man, like on Friday nights and Saturday nights, like finally get the kids down. We start to unwind, eat dinner, and, come 10 o'clock, shout out to my cousin Herbie. We would just put on some classic tunes off the back deck, and we would just sit out there for hours until 12, 1, 2 a.m. just shooting the breeze, trying to come up with the best next idea. Those guys, my wife's aunt and uncle, my aunt and uncle at heart, hold a special place in my heart because they showed us the ropes, man. They, we cut our teeth in Sea Isle thanks to them. Well, my Aunt Peggy and Uncle Kevin as well, but like being able to live there for 10 years with those guys, going on boat rides, hitting up all the bars, the restaurants, meeting all these new bartenders. Like, without that experience, like I probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now because I wouldn't have learned from the best. And, those two are some of our best friends, and we'll be tearing up Sea Isle here shortly in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a really good point you bring up, Mick. Like the grandparents, the parents, the uncles, the aunts that like paid it forward to, you and I, or people listening to this show, are what keep the traditions alive at the Jersey Shore and other places. Like my parents showed me Key West, Florida. Like I know everybody there now. Everywhere we go, I'm 29 years old. I know every single bartender. I know where to go, where not to go. Same thing down in Cape May and places like Sea Isle. Like, but they help you because you can't afford to have a place there. You can't afford to spend the night there. But they constantly are like paying it forward because someone did it for them back in the day. So shout out to those folks, because seriously though, I mean, it's huge. Like you're saying, that's massive stuff. It really is. And now it's allowed your kids to be there and pass on to the next generation. So yeah, it's good. Feel good.
When do we get a boat, Dad? When are we getting a boat, Dad?
Oh,
we're not. Uncle John has one.
Sometime soon when the Samboner show launches even more than it is launching now. It's been an absolute blast, man. It's been a blast. Another great episode talking about another awesome location. These are always our beefiest episodes because there's so much to talk about. We'll probably do it again next year.
Yep. And apologies for anybody we missed out there. There's always next
year. Let us
year.
know, folks. I want to hear you left us out. Shoot us a message. Who'd we miss?
Break our balls in.
Yeah. We good? We're ready to rock, Mick, or what? Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend down the shore, buddy. I'm jealous that you're there. I won't be able to make it.
Yep. Won't be there till late Friday night. Unfortunately, the elementary school decided to put on a Thursday night and Friday night school play. Yeah, go screw. Yeah, who cares if you have a house down the shore? You think I care? Nope.
What? School play Friday
talk
night?
About a violation. And my neighbor worked in the school system for 30 years. And when she found out about it, she was like, that's a crime. I mean, that is the most ignorant scheduling that I've ever heard of in my life. You're going to put a school play on from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on a Friday night of Memorial Day weekend? Give me a break. Give me a break, Samboners.
That's a 5 a.m. wake up on Saturday morning and drive down the shore.
We'll see. We shall see.
That was it for the Sea Isle episode. Thank you to our main sponsors, Not For Long Media and Core Police. Thank you to everyone who supported the show, all the small businesses. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Have a really safe and fun summer with your family and friends. Samboner out.
Samboner out. Thank you all.